You guys.
Right at this tennis park. What it is, you guys, it is your girl Cadillac. Yes, I am Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Drama Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Hoping, girl, to see justice before all face to black. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. Well, I know y'all probably seen something different if you ain't seen a couple of my videos. Money did. It looked like I wiped them off though. Money did my eyebrows, but they looked a lot better. I done fell asleep on them, so please disregard all of that. I didn't want to wipe them off completely though, because I don't want her to feel some type of way. But they looked a lot better the day that she did them. Oh, anyways, today I did have a topic that I want to talk about. Trying to find it in my little pocket, girl. There it is. I found it. While I was at work, I was taking notes about a situation and basically gathering my thoughts about something, and I wrote out some notes. Oh, this is my first time being to this park. Let me hold it on the side just in case they're uneven. Okay, so the topic that I came up with today, that I thought about. Okay, what ended up happening, I was at work and one of my managers or supervisors was basically kind of, oh, no loitering. Okay, so they were basically concerned about my blood pressure because I came in yesterday, and I kind of was rubbing my head and my neck, whatever. Y'all already know why I have those issues, because I drank that energy drink, girl. But the only reason I really drank that energy drink is because I knew I wanted to go and do something. I knew that I wanted to stay up late and helping Money with situations she's, you know, working on and stuff like that. So for me to be able to stay up and do everything that I want and need to do, sometimes I go for that energy drink. Y'all know. I really don't drink the whole thing, but just drinking any portion of it, I know the next day I'm gonna have that headache. And then also when I tried to lay down, as soon as I went to lay down, my stomach started bubbling. Right. So I basically didn't get a lot of sleep. And then because I didn't get a lot of sleep and I was just up all night with my stomach, I ended up watching Willie D. And anytime I get on Willie D Live's videos, girl, you already know them hands go to commenting and this and that. He be talking that good stuff, that justice stuff. So end up I was basically just commenting back to him all night long, and the night got away from me. So a combination of no sleep and the energy drink. I came in the next day really tired, have a headache, and I guess my manager kind of noticed, one of my supervisors noticed. So she was telling me today, she was like, do you take blood pressure medicine? And I was like, well, I take a water pill. And she was like, you take a water pill, but out of everybody here, I see you take the less bathroom breaks. And I was like, yeah, I do take less bathroom breaks, but basically because it's a hassle when when I drink water, you're going to have to go to the restroom. And then a lot of places there where I'm at, it's hard to constantly go to the restroom because you have to get somebody to relieve you. And then when you're going to the restroom constantly, people tend to think that you're just playing around. They're not thinking that you're really needing to use the restroom that much. So just to avoid all of that, when I'm getting my good water intake, usually I'm not in a certain position that I would need somebody to relieve me to go and use the restroom. I'm usually in one of the roaming positions, bussing, doing something that I could just go to the restroom as many times as I need to, and it won't affect anything. So she was like, you need to really check on that, because if you're taking a water pill, but I definitely do not see you constantly in the bathroom, like what's going on? So she's just concerned, she's an older woman, and you got to check on people younger than you, because a lot of time as younger individuals, which I'm not too young now, girl. I'm 41 going on 42. But I take the advice of older people because they tend to know, because they was never one of those young people. Look at that. You see the sky, the sunset. Never one of those younger people that was like, oh, these old people trying to tell me this and tell me. No, baby, listen. And I always tried to tell my daughter that, like, even if you do know something, just listen to it. It's not going to hurt you to hear it. That's just like if somebody was teaching me saying, oh, if you want to turn on the dishwasher, then you're going to have to do this, this, and this. But I could already know that I have to do this, this, and this, right? But I'll just be like, oh, okay, okay. Because when you tend to take on quality, if you're a person that, if say I tried to tell you how to do the dishwasher and I had to tell you something else, and I notice that every time I tell you to do something in a certain manner, you're like, I know, I know, I know. Eventually, I'm going to be like, well, this person already knows. And I'm going to not want to tell you. I'm going to be like, no, never mind. I'm not going to tell him, tell her. What is this? Help the... oh, wow. You would eventually be like, I'm not going to help her because every time I try to tell her something, every time I try to give her advice, she already knows. So when you get those people that just know everything, you end up, you're going to miss something because people are going to say, well, every time I try to tell her, she already knows. So there's no point in me trying to tell her. So it's going to be something detrimental that you're going to end up missing. And it's because you already know everything, right? So she was telling me that with that water pill, you really got to be drinking a lot of water because you can actually have kidney problems if you are taking a water pill and not constantly drinking. And it kind of came that it was another supervisor there. And she was giving me some good advice as well about journaling and stuff like that, about my blood pressure and my headaches, which I was told by a doctor a while back to keep a headache journal because I was suffering from a lot of headaches. But the headaches were kind of from my neck injury, right? So she was like, you don't have a blood pressure machine at home? And I was like, yeah, I used to have one, but I kind of stopped bothering with them because I had to wear, look at the sky, guys. I had an issue where I was checking my blood pressure and it was alerting me that it was high. And then I would go to the emergency room, right? And then when I got to the emergency room, they would say my blood pressure was fine. So I had that happen a couple of times, just me out of nowhere, just going to the emergency room. And then not even admitting me, they're like, girl, you fine, go home. And I done paid money and this and this and that just to be, all right. So I said, when I went to my doctor, I'll tell y'all that later. So I was just advised to not continually check your blood pressure like that because it can fluctuate, but just have it where when you're going to the doctor, they're checking your blood pressure and things like that. Just monitor it in that manner if you can't handle monitoring it on your own, right? So I said, no, I don't have a machine because one time when I went to the emergency room, they were telling me to get the manual one and have the doctor, show me how to use it. And I told them what he said, which I'm going to leave that to later because it was really rude. I'll just tell it here because I ain't got enough time in this video, girl. But he told me, you want me to show you how to use that one? You know, the little handheld one where they put the little thing under your arm and then you squeeze it and then the little gauge, the little circle gauge is there. He gonna tell me, oh, they got a playground back here too? He gonna tell me, he said, and you want me to put you through medical school too? I'm like, what? Like, huh? Because I asked you to show me how to use the blood pressure machine. And that made me think about the different times in my life that I felt looked down upon and kind of discriminated against when I went to the doctor, when I encountered doctors. So this was a long segue in. I only got 8 minutes left. So I'm going to start this. And girl, you know I'm going to finish it when I finish it, girl. Because I still was in my starting over video series. So basically, I done jumped out of that one and now I'm on this one. But I see y'all like that starting over because that one did pretty good. Okay, so doctors and discrimination. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to tell you is when I first had money. Money was on something called, no, when she first was born, did she? I don't know if she had Medicaid. I don't think she had Medicaid. And y'all already know it was me and Marcello. Look at the playground over there. I didn't even know they had a playground back here. This is kind of far back to go to the playground though. But when I had money, she didn't have insurance and Marcello was just working and helping to pay for her insurance and stuff like that. He actually was a viable father in the house, helping, taking care of her. And that's why I'm like, they just snatched him away, right? So he would pay anytime there were doctor bills. You know, we would just pay out of pocket for her to go to the doctor because we didn't quite have insurance yet. So the first doctor, I think the first one or two doctor visits, I believe that he did come. I think he did come. But you know, 2 months after Money was born is when Marcello was wrongfully arrested, right? So there was a portion of time where he was in county jail. And, you know, I was going, you know, out here, but it was in the same city or whatever. So I went to the doctor and I think it was either her shots or checkup or something. And they asked me, so where's the father? And I was like, oh, look at that sign. I need to snap a picture right here. I definitely need to get my camera because I want to start getting the right colors. I cannot get the right colors on my phone. So he said, where's the father? And I was like, oh, he's in jail. Because at that point, he was arrested. I thought, you know, you already knew. I thought that he wasn't going to be gone that long, this, and that. But the answer that I got back shocked me so bad. I was like appalled by what the doctor said next. You know what he said? He said, oh, figures. I'm like, excuse me, sir. Figures? What you mean figures? Like, huh? You asked me where's the father. I said, well, he's in jail right now. And this freaking doctor fixes his mouth to say it figures. Number one, my husband is wrongfully convicted, right? But at that time, he was wrongfully arrested. He shouldn't even be in prison. He shouldn't even be in jail. So how are you telling me it figures? Like, that really made me feel like down, like low. Like, but a lot of times doctors will leave you feeling that way when it comes to black patients, right? Okay, so the second issue happened with the same doctor. So the same doctor, when Money got a little older, I don't know if she was like 8 or 9 or whatever. And I remember that I took her to a doctor's appointment when she got sick. Now, for me, I'm an 80s baby. We didn't go to the doctor all the time like that. We went to the doctor when we were sick. Most people do the way they were raised. They raised their kids the way they were raised. Girl, we didn't run back and forth to the doctor. Like, if we were sick, we might have went to the doctor. A lot of times you get sick, your mother, your grandmother, they know how to break the fevers. They know what to do for you. They know what to give you. So we weren't always running back and forth to the doctors like that, right? So I took her to the doctor, and I don't know, she had on a hoodie. but it was like a light color hoodie. It was either white or pink, like light pale pink. And she had some little scuff marks because you know, you kids are kids. Kids are gonna be into everything. Kids are that's beautiful, but I definitely would not. No telling what'll be back there. I'm trying to make my way back onto the car before something come out. But kids are going to make a mess. Kids are going to get stains on them. Kids are going to, you know what I mean? So I took her to the doctor and he seen her jacket and it had some stains on it. And he basically was like, why is your jacket so dirty? And I'm surprised that he's even asking her that. Then he was like, your mother don't keep your clothes clean. And I'm like, huh? Like, excuse me. Then he was like, you haven't brought her for this appointment, that appointment. I said, but I bring her when she's sick. I mean, I don't bring her for every, you know, thing that, you know what I'm saying? I kept up with her shop records. I kept up with all the physicals and things like that. But all this other stuff, like, girl, what's the, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, and okay, so the answer I gave him, I'm like, sir, I'm a single mother. Like, I bring her when she's sick. Other than that, it's very hard actually to bring her, to get off from work and to do this and do that. It's hard. And he told me, I have patients that have 2 and 3 kids. And they make sure that they are to every appointment and their jackets are not dirty. And I'm like, I'm really appalled by what he's saying to me. But I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, okay. They have 2 and 3 kids and they keep up with all of that. And that's one thing that people always try to tell me, oh, you only have one child. It's not that hard. It can be very difficult having just one child. It depends on what you're putting into that one child. There's many people that do have 2 and 3 kids, but do they spend time with their kids? Do they sit down and figure out what their kids are good at? Do they go to, I went to martial arts with my child. I didn't just do activities, you know, myself and then my child, I send her off with somebody else to do some activities. We were doing activities together. I sat there with her, not just said, do the homework or read the book. That's how my mama used to tell me, girl, read the book. I sat there and learned with her and did homework with her. I spent time with her. I was doing everything with her. And yet, so that means with my one child, it could be harder if you just have your 2 and 3 children and you're just sending them off to school, expecting them to learn everything in school. You're not sitting there helping with homework. You're not asking them about future plans and stuff like that. Of course, it's easier. But I'm about to run out of time there, so I'm going to end it right here, and I'll pick right back up with that once I unload this video. All right, it's your girl Cadillac.